Hey guys, what's up? It's the Blue-Eyed Cyborg here, and welcome to yet another date night. Now, today we are playing Katawa Shoujo. I have absolutely no idea what this game is like, but let's get on with this, shall we? And just to show you, yeah, disable adult content is on. We're going to have a nice, clean time in this game. Now let's start. A light breeze causes the naked branches overhead to rattle like wooden wind chimes. It's a popular retreat for couples in the summer. The deciduous trees provide a beautiful green canopy, far out of sight of teachers and fellow students. But now, in late winter, it feels like I'm standing under a pile of kindling. I breathe into my cupped hands and rub them together furiously to prevent them from numbing in this cold. Just how long am I expected to wait out here anyway? I'm sure the note said 4 PM. Ah yes, the note. It slipped between the pages of my math book while I wasn't looking. As far as cliches go, I'm more a fan of the letter in the locker, but at least this way shows a bit of initiative. As I ponder the meaning of the note, the snowfall gradually thickens. The snowflakes silently falling from the white-painted sky are the only sign of time passing in this stagnant world. Their slow descent upon the frozen forest makes it seem like time is slow to a crawl. I'm getting massive Clan-Ad vibes out of this, I'll tell you that much. The rustling of dry snow underfoot startles me, interrupting the quiet mood. Someone is approaching me from behind. Hi, Isao? You came? Hesitating, barely audible question. However, I recognize the owner of that dainty voice instantly. I feel my heart skip a beat. It's a voice I've listened to hundreds of times, but never as more than an eavesdropper to a conversation. I turn to face this voice, the voice of my dreams, and my heart begins to race. And it was all a dream! Oh, no, it wasn't. Iwanako, you got a note telling me to wait here. It was yours? Damn, we spent all trying to come with a good line and that was the result. Pathetic! Yes, I asked a friend to give you that note. I'm so glad you got it. Shy, joyous smile that makes me so tense I couldn't move a single muscle even if I tried. Love the art in this game. My heart is pounding now. As if it were trying to burst out from my chest and claim this girl for itself. Whoa there, buddy. Whoa there. So, here we are, out in the cold. Once again the wind stirs with the branches. A cacophonous noise is music to my ears. Iwanako flinches ever so softly against the gust of wind. Well, you have a jacket on. You know, and she doesn't. So, maybe, offer the jacket, she's cold. As perhaps she rights herself, as if supported by some new confidence. Her eyes lock with mine, she lazily twirls her long dark hair around her finger. All the while, the anxious beating of my heart grows louder. My throat is tight. I doubt I could even force a word out if I tried. You see, I wanted to know how you feel about my friend. Oh, if you'd go out with me. I stood there motionless, save for my pounding heart. I want to say something in reply, but my vocal cords feel like they've been stretched beyond the breaking point. Isao? Reach up to try to massage my throat, but this only sends spikes of blinding pain along my arms. Isao? My whole body freezes, save my eyes, which shoot open in terror. Oh my god, he's having a heart attack. Isao! Beating my chest and he stops, and I go weak at the knees. World around me, the canopy of bare branches, the dull winter sky, Iwanako running towards me. All these fade to black. The last thing I remember before slipping away are the sounds of Iwanako screaming for help, and the incessant clatter of the branches above. My god! He's alive! I'm assuming this is me. The opening 4-Leaf Studios presents Katawa Shoujo. Now, as far as I'm aware, this actually started on 4chan. People discussing like why there aren't any, disabled girls and everything on visual novels and stuff coming out of Japan. So they created a visual novel around that whole concept. and apparently it is quite the feels trip. So, I'm looking forward to this. This should be a very interesting experience, at least. And, God, this music is fantastic. Well done. And the art and everything. It just goes to show that, like, when people band together like this, they can create something very good. And, hopefully, I'll be able to show that more through this game. And it's completely free as well. You just type in Katawa Shoujo into Google, or if you use it, Bing, or anything like that, and find it. It's been 4 months since my heart attack. Wow. In that whole time, I could probably count the times I've left this hospital room unsupervised on one hand. 4 months is a pretty long time you're left alone with your thoughts. Jesus, yeah, it is. So I've had plenty of time to come to terms with my situation. Erythema. Strange. I'm going to look that up off screen, I think. Actually, no, I'm going to look it up now. I mean, it might tell me in the game anyway. But, here we go. Oh, it's irregular heartbeat. Okay, yeah, so palpitations, feeling of pause between heartbeats, lightheaded, passing out, shortness of breath, or chest pain. Others may result in cardiac arrest, yeah. So, basically, your heart don't beat proper. Yeah? If you beat too fast, it could be fatal. I've had it for a long time, so it was a miracle I was able to go on so long without anything happening. Wow. It's a free miracle. It's supposed to make me feel better, more appreciative of my life. It really didn't do anything to cheer me up. My parents, I think, were hit harder by the news than I was. They practically had 2 hemorrhages apiece. They already had a full day by then to digest everything. To them, it was all fresh. They were even willing to sell our house in order to pay for a cure. Of course, there isn't a cure. Late discovery of this condition, I've had to stay at the hospital to recuperate from the treatments. As first admitted, it felt as if I was missed. For a week my room in the ward was full of flowers, balloons and cards. But the visitors soon dwindled, and all the get well gifts began trickling down to nothing shortly after. Sending my sympathy being turned into a class project. Maybe some people were genuinely concerned, but I doubt it. In the beginning I barely had visitors. By the end of the first month, my parents came by on a regular basis, and my doors just swung open. Don't know why it did that, but for some reason it did. It seems to be doing that recently. My parents came by on a regular basis. When Narco was the last to stop visiting. For 6 weeks I never saw her again. I never had that much to talk about when she visited anyway. We didn't touch the subject that was between us on that snowy day ever again. I bet that would be, incredibly painful for them both. Confessing your feelings to someone and then they have a heart attack and nearly die right in front of you. It must be horrifying. It's all not a place I like to live in. Feels so impersonal and faceless. I guess it's because they're in a hurry and have a million other patients waiting for them. But it makes me feel uncomfortable. For the first month or so, I asked the head cardiologist to write down a sum for a rough estimate of when I'd be able to leave. He never answered anything in a straightforward way, but told me to wait and see if the treatment and surgeries worked. So I hardly observed the scar that those surgeries had left in my chest slowly change its appearance over time, thinking of it as some kind of an omen. I still ask the head cardiologist about leaving, but my expectations are low enough now that I'm not disappointed anymore when I don't get a reply. The way he shuffles around the answer shows that there is at least some hope. At some point I stopped watching TV. I don't know why, I just did. Maybe it was the wrong kind of escapism for my situation. I started reading instead. That's a very good escape. There's a small library at the hospital. No, it was more like a storeroom for books. I kept working my way through it, one small stack at a time. After consuming them, I would go back for more. I found that I liked reading, and I think I even became a bit addicted. I started feeling naked without a book in my hands, but I loved the stories. reading is a fantastic gateway into a whole other world. I highly recommend it above, a lot of other forms of media. Just feel like it's amazing how much you can convey with just ink on a page, and the depth of emotion that you can hit with that, and how you can feel connected to the characters that you're reading about. And some people, I think, don't appreciate that as much as they should anymore. So I encourage everybody, if you've got a local library or anything, go check it out. Find something, give it a try, because you may be surprised, like, this guy was, that reading is a fantastic way to get through things. So, pro tip for today: read. That was what my life was like. The days became increasingly hard to distinguish from each other, differing only by the book I was reading and the weather outside. It felt like time blurred into some kind of gooey mass I was trapped inside, instead of moving within. A week could go by without me really noticing it. Sometimes I'd pause in realization that I didn't know what day of the week it was. But other times, all things that surrounded me would painfully crash into my consciousness through the barrier nonchalance I had set up for myself. The pages of my book would start to feel sharp and burning hot, and the heaviness in my chest would become so hard to bear that I had to put the book aside and just lay down for a while, looking at the ceiling as if I was going to cry. But that happened only rarely, and I couldn't even cry. Today the doctor comes in and gives me a smile. He seems excited, but not very. It's like he's trying to make an effort to be happy on my behalf. My parents are here. It's been a few days since I've last seen them. Both of them are even sort of dressed up. Is this supposed to be some kind of special occasion? It's not a party. There is this ritual the head cardiologist has. He takes his time sorting his papers and then setting them aside to make a point of the pointlessness of what he just did. And casually sits down on the edge of the bed next to me. He looks me in the eyes for a moment. "Hello, Hisao. How are you today?" I don't answer him, but I smile a little back at him. "I believe that you can go home. Your heart is stronger now, and with some precautions, you should be fine. We have all your medications sorted out. I'll give your father the prescription." Doctor hands a sheet of paper to my dad, whose expression turns wooden as he reads it quickly. "So many." I take it from his hand and take a look myself, feeling numb. How am I supposed to react to this? Whoa. The absolutely long list of medications staring back at me from the paper seems insurmountable. They all blend together into a sea of letters. Wow. It's insane. Side effects, adverse effects, contraindictions, and dosages are all listed line after line with cold precision. I try to read them, but it's so futile. Can't understand any of it. Attempting to only makes me feel sicker. All this, for the rest of my life? Every day? I'm afraid that's the best we can do at this point. However, new medications are always being developed, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that list fade over the years. Yes, what kind of confidence booster is that? I'd have felt better if he hadn't said anything at all. Also, I've spoken with your parents, and we believe that it would be best if you don't return to your old school. What? Please, calm down, Hisao. Listen to what the doctor has to say. Calm down, the way he tells it. I mean, like you knew full well that I wouldn't like it. Am I going to be homeschooled? Whatever my concern shows is ignored. We all understand that your education is paramount. However, I don't think that it's wise for you to be without supervision. At least not until we're sure that your medication is suitable. It's good to be wise when it comes to medication. So, I spoke to your parents about a transfer. It's a school called Yamaku Academy that specializes in dealing with disabled students. Disabled? What? Am I? That's a 24-hour nursing staff, and it's only a few minutes from a highly regarded general hospital. The majority of students live on the campus. Think of it as a boarding school of sorts. It's designed to give students a degree of independence, while keeping help nearby. Independence? It's a school for disabled kids. Don't try and disguise that fact. If it was really that free, there wouldn't be a 24-hour nursing staff, and you wouldn't make a hospital being nearby a selling point. He has a point there. Of course, that's only if you want to go, but your mother and I aren't really able to homeschool you. We went out there and had a look a couple of weeks back. I think you'd like it. Looks like I really don't have a choice. Compared to other hard problems, people with your condition usually tend to live long lives. You'll need a job one day, and this is a good opportunity to continue your education. This isn't an opportunity. Don't call it an opportunity. Don't call it a goddamn opportunity. Well, you should be excited at the chance to go back to school. I remember you wanted to return to school, and when it's not the same one, a special school, that's an insult. That's what I want to say. It's a step down. It's not what you think. All the students there are pretty active in their own sort of way. It's geared towards students that can still get around and learn, but just need a little help in one way or another. Your father's right, and many of the graduates of the school have gone on to do amazing things. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. One of my colleagues in another hospital is a graduate. I don't care. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. That's what a disability is. I really hate that something so important was decided for me, but what can I do about it? That normal life is out of the question now. It's funny. I'd always thought my life was actually kind of boring, but now I miss it. I want to protest. I want to blame this lack of reaction on shock or fatigue. I could easily yell out something now, something about how I can go back to school anyway. But no, I don't want to say anything. The fact is that I know now it's futile. Look around the room, feeling very tired of all this. The hospital, doctors, my condition, everything. I don't see anything that would make me feel any different. There really isn't a choice. I know this. But the thought of going to a disabled school, what are those even like? As much as I try to put a positive spin on this, it's very difficult. But let me try. A clean slate isn't a bad thing. That's all I can think of to get me through this. At least it still has something. Even if it's a special school, it's something. It's a fresh start. And my life isn't over. It would be a mistake to just resign myself to thinking that. At the very least, I'll try to see what my new life will look like. Dude. Act 1. Life expectancy. Wow. That's quite the, starting act name, isn't it? The gate looked far too pompous for what it was. In fact, gates in general seem to do that, but this one is especially so. Red bricks, black wrought iron, and grey plaster, assembled into a whole that didn't feel welcoming at all. I wondered if it looked like what a gate for a school should look like, but couldn't really decide. Probably no. Of course I didn't want to get stuck on thinking about the gate for too long, so I entered through with a brisk pace that felt surprisingly good. Moving forward feels good. So I walked towards the main building of Yamakuha Academy with this brisk pace. I'm alone as my parents are taking my stuff to the dorms, and it's supposed to be someone waiting for me. The grounds are incredibly lush, filled with green. It doesn't feel like the kind of grounds a school would have, more like a park with a clean walkway going past trees, and the smell of fresh cut grass and all other park-like things. Words like clean and hygienic pop into my mind. It makes me shudder. I shake them off. Stay open-minded now. It's your new life. You have to take it as it comes. That's what I tell myself. A few big buildings loom behind the leafy canopies, too big and too many for just a school. Everything seems off. It's different from what I thought I knew about schools. It's an uncanny valley. Even though I was told this is my new school, in the back of my head, it doesn't feel like one. I wonder if the feeling is real, or caused by my expectations of a school for the disabled. Speaking of that, I don't see anyone else here. It's kinda eerie. Makes me wish there was somebody here so I could anchor myself to something tangible, instead of having this feeling that I stepped into another dimension. The trees hum with the wind, and the green hues flashing all around catch my attention. Makes me think about hospitals again. How they say that the operating rooms are painted green because green is a calming colour. So why am I feeling so anxious, despite all this greenery? Only after I stand in front of the haughty main building, I surprise myself by realising why the gate bothered me. It was the last chance I had to turn back, even if I had no life I could return to. But still, after entering, there was absolutely no way I could go back anymore. Feeling nervous and with this realisation set in my head, I open the front door. A tall man with bad posture notices me as I enter. We're the only people in the lobby, so it's only logical. You must be... Niki? Nakai. So you are. Excellent. I'm your homeroom and science teacher. My name is Muto. Welcome. We exchange a handshake. There's neither firm nor sloppy, and he looks at his watch. The head nurse asked you for a brief check-in visit, but there's no time for that now. Oh, should I go later? Yes, afternoon is probably fine. We should get going and introduce you to the rest of the class. They're waiting already. Waiting for me? I don't really like being the centre of attention, but I guess it's inevitable in a situation like this. Somehow, not knowing what is waiting for me makes me feel really nervous. Thinking of this, I almost missed what the teacher was saying. Do you want to introduce yourself to the class? Ooh! We have a choice here. Should I leave this here? Oh, hey, cool. Current scene, gateway effect, current music track, fripperies. Ooh, that's a neat detail. I'm going to save just here. Create a new save state. So if I click save again, haha, there it is. So, return. I'm going to go, yeah, of course. Yeah, sure. I mean, isn't that normal? Of course, but not everyone likes to be at the centre of attention. Probably one of those people, but I guess I should be the one to give the first impression of myself. That's a good point. Right, but it's no problem. Let's go then. And my heart's pounding in my chest. It keeps me thinking about my condition as I follow the teacher up the stairs. Third door down the third floor corridor is marked as the classroom for class 3-3. Muto opens the door and enters. Good morning, everyone. Sorry I'm late again. She was a split second at the door, freezing on the spot. Get a grip. It's a big step, I know that. But there isn't any point in worrying so much about it. At least not this soon. Exactly, don't worry. Just beat people. Follow the teacher into the classroom and look around. Partially so I won't have to meet the curious gazes of my new classmates. It's pretty spacious, the ceiling is unusually high, and there's lots of space left around and in between the desks. An entire wall taken up by blackboards and the high, old-fashioned windows only make it seem larger. Students' desks are just standard wooden desks with a shelf underneath for books and wooden chairs with metal frames. Simple and efficient. I stop walking in front of the classroom and face the other students. They all look normal, like students in any other school. But then, why would they be here? They're probably like me and have something wrong with them. Only it's just not immediately obvious. Then I notice one of the girls seems to be missing the thumb of her right hand. It's a little jarring. Despite the natural tendency to listen when someone's talking about you, I tune out the teacher's speech halfway through while he introduces me to the class. Notice a flash of dark hair and see that someone's looking at me. A girl with long straight hair that is pretty eye-catching. As she sees me looking back at her, she covers her face with her hands as if it will make her invisible. There's one boy with a cane leaning against the lockers at the rear of the class. It's weird seeing someone so young with a cane. The girl seems to be making some weird hand motions. Sign language? She peers at me over the rims of her glasses, then goes back to whatever she's doing. She's kind of cute. So is the cheery-looking girl with pink hair sitting next to her. She's really hard to miss. I don't know how I didn't notice her the moment I walked in. She's got drill hair. Please welcome our newest classmate. He claps his hands, and so does everyone else. Except one girl in the front row has only one hand. I cringe a little, but hide it by bowing in thanks for the applause I did not deserve. The collective silence tells me I should open my mouth now. So, I'm Hisao Nakai, and after that, my hobbies are reading and soccer. I hope to get along well with everyone, even though I'm a new student. It's not soccer, it's football! Because you play with your feet. After that, I'm being so boring. This is exactly like every self-introduction ever. I should say something more exciting. I end up saying nothing, and the teacher picks up from there. Everyone seems to be satisfied even with what little I said, though. A few girls are whispering to each other, throwing glances at me. It could have gone worse. Hey, you know, the girl's disgusting you. Might be in there, dude. I listen to the teacher as he drones about getting along while letting my gaze sweep across the classroom. Everyone seems to be listening to him intently, and when he's done, they clap their hands again, which feels like a weird thing to do. The first row girl claps on this round with her one hand against her other wrist that ends in a bandaged stump. It makes me feel a little bad. We're going to be doing some group work today, so that'll give you a chance to talk with everyone. Is that okay with you? Yeah, it's fine with me. Good, you can work with Hakamichi. She is the class representative. She can explain anything you might want to know, and who else would be able to do that better, right? How could I know? The teacher passed out the day's assignments and announced they'll be working in groups of 3. It hits me that I don't know who Hakamichi is. Slow. The teacher seems to catch my helpless expression. Oh right, Hakamichi is right there. Shizune Hakamichi. As he calls out her name, the cute, bubbly-looking girl with bright pink hair and gold eyes waves her hand at me. I take a seat next to her by the window. Hey, I guess you're Hakamichi, right? It's nice to meet you. Ha ha. Well, I'm caught off by her laughter. Nice to meet you too. But I'm not Hakamichi, I'm Misha. This is Hakamichi Shi-chan. Giggling, Misha points to the girl next to her, the one I saw using sign language before. It looks like she's been staring at me this whole time. She nods once nonchalantly to so that she acknowledges my presence, but only barely. She has short yet carefully and neatly brushed hair, a pair of oval-shaped glasses balanced on the tip of a dainty nose, and dark blue eyes that seem to alternate every few seconds between analytical and slightly bored. So I wonder why the pink-haired girl answered for her. But if she's using sign language, she must be deaf. So the class representative is deaf. So is Misha like an interpreter of sorts for her? It's with you. Chibi looks at Misha, who smiles and makes a few quick gestures. Yeah. Hakamichi nods, makes a few gestures of her own. So I wonder if the teacher is messing with me, saying things like, you'll be able to talk to people and who better to explain things to you. See, you're a little confused, right? But I understand why you would think I was Shi-chan. Shi-chan is deaf, so I'm the person who translates things back and forth for her. I was right! I like interpreter. Right again. She says it's nice to meet you too. Is you Nani? Well, Shi-chan, of course he is. If he wasn't, he would have been standing up there for no reason, right? Seems like a very interesting person, doesn't he? We knew there was going to be a new student, but we didn't know you would be here today. So soon. He-chan, right? He-chan. Yep, it fits, doesn't it? Did I say it out loud? It's just a surprise. I never liked that nickname. I don't really see how. It fits. You look just like I imagined. Oh boy, what's Shizune? Yeah, you just look just like a He-chan. I wonder why everyone seems to think so. Like Michi taps her fingers on the desk to get Misha's attention. They gesture back and forth to each other excitedly. Their hands a blur. Misha seems a little overwhelmed. Sorry about that. Shi-chan wants you to know that she's the class rep, so if there's anything you need to know, you can feel free to ask her. Do you like the school so far? We can show you around a little if you haven't had the time to walk around and familiarize yourself with it. Misha stumbles with the hard word a bit, making it stick out in her otherwise fluid translation. Thanks, that'd be pretty helpful. Yeah, I just kind of came straight to class today. Haha. That's no good. You should always try to learn as much as you can about where you're going before you go there. Not just with school either. Always, even if it's a trip to the convenience store. Really, Shi-chan? Haha. Learn about where you're going. I guess didn't bother to do that, or just didn't care enough to do so. I didn't look forward to this, even if I committed myself to go along with it half-assedly. But anyway, I don't say anything. Misha signs something that ends in a shrug. What was that? It seems like it was something about me. I feel like slumping over in my seat. Both of them are smiling, but that shrug hit me unexpectedly deeply. You look down. Are you okay? Shizune is signing again. Don't take it the wrong way, please. I hate it when people are afraid to ask questions. That's how people learn things, by asking. Asking for help is perfectly normal, as much as needing help. Stop looking like you just failed a test. Alright. Shizune is smiling! Oh, and another thing, you don't have to call me Shi-chan call Shi-chan something so fun like Hakamichi or class rep all the time. Just call her Shi-chan! Okay, maybe that's too casual. Maybe Shizune would be more appropriate. Yep, Shizune is fine. Okay, that'd be a lot easier for me. I feel a lot more at ease. Both of them seem so friendly, so I feel like an idiot for being so apprehensive earlier. Especially about Shizune, who I assumed would be all business. Well, she still seems like that, just less so, I guess. Well, I think we'll find out what Shizune is saying next time on Date Night with Katawa Shoujo. thanks very much for watching. This is really interesting. It started really dark, but you can see how he's starting to fit into an area where this is hope. And we have this one girl here who is deaf and it seems mute as well. But she's still able to communicate all this humour and laughter and everything, even though she's not able to hear or speak for herself. So I really look forward to seeing what these characters are like in the future and in the rest of this game. So thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you next time on Date Night with Katawa Shoujo. Bye!